Thank God it is a Friday and you are welcome to the news on Canal English. Good evening, I am Elie Smith. The headlines. End of the first term in Douala, but our reporter tells us that it was the worst performance put up by our pupils and students in the littoral region since records began being kept. Why? The answer in a while. Catholic school teachers have been visited by Father Christmas before it is Christmas. They may be smiling, that is if the promises made by the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of the littoral region is respected. While the world is struggling to protect the environment and also protect some animals and birds, some people don't care. A proof, 128 parrots have been freed in Garua. They were on their way to be sold out of the country. Where? In Nigeria. There is joy and tears in eastern Nigeria as first an Abuja High Court has ordered the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is the owner of Free Biafran Radio, but there is also tears as 5 peaceful demonstrators supporting the independence of Biafra have been killed by the Nigerian police. Those were the headlines. As I announced at the introduction of this news, there are some people who do not care. While the world is doing everything to protect the environment and also protect animals and birds, some don't care. A proof, elements of the Custom Brigade in Garua, north of Cameroon, have seized 6 boxes containing 128 parrots. The parrots were coming from the East region to be taken to Nigerian markets for sales. Details with Christelle Katala.
128 parrots have been seized in Garua region of Cameroon by elements of Custom Brigade. The 6 boxes full of parrots were coming from East region of Cameroon to be sold in the Nigerian market.
Nous faisons la patrouille dans le centre urbain. Alors, au cours de cette patrouille,
during our patrol around the Total petrol station, we saw a truck which contained fruits and plantains. But we were attracted by the noise, so we went. When they started offloading, we saw boxes. We discovered there were parrots inside.
Notre attention a été attirée par le gazouillement des oiseaux.
These parrots were transported to the zoologic center of Garua. The parrots are of Class A species. Those are species which are fully protected. So those who commit such crime can be sentenced from 1 to 3 years in prison and will pay the sum ranging from 1 to 10 million francs CFA.
Allant de 3 à 10 millions de francs CFA.
Parrots with red tails are rare and protected species in Cameroon.
Was it a coincidence or not? But listen to this story. The Yokaduma 13th Mobile Intervention Battalion has launched an open war against armed traffickers and illegal poachers. The operation has led to the arrest of some suspected criminals who attacked one of the gendarmerie posts in the East region. Annette Ifeti Isome has the details.
The suspected criminals who break into the Mboy gendarme post on the night of May 23rd to 24th have been arrested. They made away with bullets and 3 Kalashnikovs. This is the man behind the stealing that took place in the Mboy gendarme post. As we were carrying out control, one of our sources told us of a hunter who has one of the stolen guns. This is how we successfully laid hands on the 2 criminals and the hunters who bought the arms. Thanks to the operation, a total of 10 arms were retrieved, including the 3 Kalashnikovs stolen from the gendarme post and 5 others with origins still to be established. 2 rifles and over 1,500 bullets were all retrieved. These arms were all meant for the hunting of elephants. This year we have seized 94 ivories, 899 kilograms of wood, 37 arms, over 1,600 bullets, and 61 people have been arrested. All these arms and people are just for elephant hunting. The oldest amongst the suspects is 23 years. The head of the gang still has a bullet in the leg. Insecurity in the Central African Republic has made easy the circulation of arms in Yokaduma.
Inhabitants of Idiakap, a neighborhood in Konsamba 2, Mongo Division, have discovered the lifeless body of a new baby. The authors of this crime are still to be tracked down as forces of law and order continue with their investigations. Once again, details with Christelle Catala.
A huge crowd with sad faces under shock. The population has just discovered the lifeless body of a newborn baby. We are at Konsamba in the Mongo Division, precise in Ajakap, a neighborhood in this locality. My neighbor called me to come very fast, that there is a corpse in the house. That is why I took a bike and came immediately. The dead body was discovered by a woman who then informed the people. The criminal act raised several questions. The lady who committed such a crime should know that it's not good. But now we advise others because it is laziness that causes most of these actions. Who is behind the killing of this newborn baby? Forces of law and order are investigating on the case to track down the criminals.
As you all know, we are in a festive month, and who says festive month means reckless driving. So highway safety is a preoccupation to the Ministry of Transport as Minister Allen Edgar Mebengor launches a special road safety campaign in a bid to reduce reckless driving and also accidents during this festive season. Carol Kemaju with more from Yaoundé.
This is the type of tire that often causes accidents on the road. A case the regional delegate of transport for the central region could not let go unpunished, as the agency was asked to offload their passengers and take the car to a mechanic for a check-up. Most of these buses have never been taken to a mechanic. Their interest is to make money. The purpose of this road safety campaign at the Van Car Park is to make sure safety standards are respected, especially at this end of year period. We are here under the instruction of the Minister of Transport, Edgar Allen Mebengor, who wants to reduce accidents rate at this end of year period. According to the delegate, officials of these agencies should provide a resting space for drivers, make them comfortable and prepare to embark on the next journey. Failing to do so, the consequences are accidents on our roads, which increases death rate.
It is all over. What is all over, you may have asked? Well, if you did ask that question, you are absolutely correct. It is the gates of schools today closes in Douala. As our reporter tells us, their performances have been rated as one of the worst since record began being kept. But as usual, were they given any advice? Yes, D. Morin has the detail.
Seji Emmanuel is the overall best student of Government High School, Jos in Douala, with an average of 16 on 20. The performance of students in this establishment has been rated as below average. The blame has been placed on students who don't concentrate in class and study less at home. Teachers were also blamed for not following up very closely students. Parents too were not left out as they allowed their children loose. The principal on this Friday, February 18, that marks the end of the first term, advised students not to abandon their books and get into deviant acts that will only distract them more.
Le message, il est simple. Vous l'avez su tout à l'heure quand j'ai dit.
Our message was clear. As the children are going on Christmas vacation, we advise them not to get into deviant acts and to enjoy themselves, but in moderation. Examination students should be more than ever before closer to their books.
Qui les prédispose à certains excès, à certaines déviances.
It was a similar message at Government Technical High School, Kumasi. Administration is not satisfied with the performance of students.
Vous avez vu les 5 premiers.
We have students who are yet to understand why they are here. We have others that have understood the need to be educated. These such students have an average of 16%. The last of the first 5 best students had 14%. This shows that some of them are working very hard, while there are others who are still lagging behind.
Ceux qui ont eu les 15, les 16, les 14 de moyenne, c'est parce qu'ils ont travaillé.
It was a festive ambiance in nursery and primary schools. Rhymes, songs, ballet, fashion parade were some of the high points of the day. Students and people who have not made it this term certainly have to wake up from the 4th of January 2016 as the second term begins. Consider the shortest of the school calendar.
Well, good news to striking Catholic school teachers within the Douala Archdiocese. What is the good news all about? The Secretariat for Catholic Education has assured the striking teachers with promises that, if kept, will transform the fortune of those teachers who have been wallowing in abject poverty. Ndi Maureen has the rest of the story from a press conference held today in the economic capital of Cameroon, Douala.
No salary of less than 50,000 francs CFA, 2% benefits of longevity allowance, a medical doctor to provide first aid assistance. These are some of the benefits to Catholic features under the Douala Archdiocese after the recent demonstration.
The problem is because there is serious control. That's the truth. Before 2012, they were not able to pay 12 months salary. The Archdiocese had to look for money left and right to be able to pay the 12-month salary because they had to pay. But Seduk did not have enough money up to 2012. So somebody told the Archbishop that it is not true that there's not enough money. The monies are being defrauded. People are taking the money. They are putting it in the pocket. If you control seriously, you will see that there will be enough money to pay and even increase salaries.
The first measures to be applied as from next year were made public this December 18 at a press conference organized by the Secretariat of Catholic Schools. They described the recent strike action of Catholic teachers as illegal, especially as they were not notified. According to them, the teachers were manipulated.
We did not make those salary rates. They were made by government. But we have paid, when you see somebody with first school living, any more than 50,000, because we talk of a basic salary, you begin to doubt whether what should the other people have. It's far, far more than, it's like 2 times what the person should have. So let me go back to what I was saying before you cut me. So because they made serious control, the bishop discovered, as they had told him, that there was enough money to pay the teachers. And that was what pushed him even to increase their salaries. Because when you have problem to pay 10 months, how do you go increasing salaries? It doesn't make sense. You don't have the money to pay.
A December 18 conference is holding weeks after the divisional officer for Douala 1 met with the disgruntled Catholic teachers to examine the applied. The close to 800 teachers from 54 Catholic primary schools in Douala were demanding an amelioration in their working conditions.
Some felt or thought that the Cameroon national squad, that the Indomitable Lions, were already a liability. The answer is an absolutely or an emphatic no. They are still an asset. A proof is that we had already a backload of 200 applicants that have been whittled down to 5. 5 coaches have been then fighting to replace Volker Finke, the former coach of the Indomitable Lions. The information was discussed during the FECAFOOT executive meeting in Yaoundé. Details with Carol Kemaju.
The 19 members of the Executive Committee of the National Football Federation FECAFOOT met this Thursday in an ordinary session in Yaoundé. Major decisions were taken to ameliorate the standards of Cameroonian football. I am completely serene. The life and serenity. I have spent my entire life and nothing disturbs me. I know where I am going to and I know what I want. I often tell people that I don't have a car that reverses, so my way is only forward. From the look on the faces of the 19 members, the executive meeting was visibly a satisfactory one. Another important issue that was raised during the meeting, although not on the agenda, is that of a coach for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. The president of FECAFOOT, Tombi Aroko Sidiki, disclosed that 5 coaches have been shortlisted to replace the dismissed Volker Finkel. Of the 5 coaches shortlisted, 3 are coming from France, 1 is a Serbian, and the other a Cameroonian. The 4-man committee given the utmost task to select a coach for the Indomitable Lions is presently at work and is expected to come up with a name before the end of January 2016.
You may have corrected it for yourself. It is not Carol Kemaju, but our one and only Tabi Clarkson. In the East, Cameroon's East region is home to thousands of Central African refugees. They recently took part in a referendum ahead of the upcoming elections in their home country. They too will be voting alongside those back home. This report on how the historic movement or moment unfolded in their refugee camps in the East region with Annette Efeti Esome.
Over 20,000 Central African refugees in the East region of Cameroon will vote in the upcoming presidential and legislative elections billed for the 27th of December. Ahead of this, they took part in the referendum. East Regional Governor Gregoire Vogel was on the field visiting different refugee sites where the referendum took place.
We had a few hiccups from a logistic perspective because the materials just came from Bangui yesterday to Douala, but then everybody was ready here in Cameroon, so we managed to transport the materials from Douala directly to Bertoua. They arrived to Bertoua yesterday in the evening. Then all the sous-préfets were waiting for that. Then we sent the materials yesterday evening and then to some places today very early in the morning. All the members of the vote bureaus were trained. And so far, everything is going well.
These refugees want to see peace in their homeland. Entire families have been separated by war. The government of Cameroon is assisting the United Nations systems to make this historic event successful. Their votes will help in the peace process after years of political upheavals in the Central African Republic.
Well, out of Cameroon, we are going to Rwanda as the Rwandans are voting in a referendum on constitutional amendment to allow President Paul Kagame, who came to power in 1994, to seek a 3rd term in office. So 6.4 million Rwandans are eligible to vote. But before that exercise, yesterday, 37,000 Rwandans living abroad also had a say. If the yes wins, Paul Kagame will be eligible to stand or to continue his grip on Rwanda until 2034. And we still remain in the Great Lakes region. Well, 5 people have been, not in the Great Lakes region, I'm breaking pardon, in Nigeria. 5 people have been killed in the southeastern part of that country after police opened fire on supporters of an activist who backed the creation of the breakaway state of the Biafra. His name is Nnamdi Kanu. Meanwhile, last Thursday, a Nigerian high court sitting in Abuja ordered the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader and owner of a radio called the Radio Biafra. And back in the Great Lakes region, that is precisely in Burundi, the African Union plans to deploy more than 5,000 soldiers there to contain the peace in that country. And the report from Addis Ababa, the OAU or AU capital, states that those forces will be deployed in Burundi whether the government of Burundi accepts it or not. This is a plan, or the AU plans to prevent or avert the Great Lake country from spiraling or going down into another genocide like what took place in Rwanda in 1994. It is absurd because of one man, the country, that is Paul Kagame, Rwanda or Burundi might go down into the drains for another civil war. Well, that was all we could put together today for the news on Canal de English. We want to thank those who are watching us from Kumbo and Freetown in Sierra Leone. Until Monday, God willing. But meanwhile, have a wonderful weekend.